Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Guess What I Got for Christmas. Yeah, in case you didn't guess it, I got Persona 5 for Christmas. I literally have been wanting to play this game for years, and I am so excited because now I finally get to. So I figured I would make a video talking about how much I love it, even though I'm only a couple of hours in. And normally I don't make videos like this where I talk about a game while I'm like in the middle of it. But genuinely, I have loved it so much, I just had to talk about it like right now. I kind of stay away from doing like first impression stuff because it's kind of like your impression can change over time. Like when I started Xenoblade 3, I loved it. By the time I got to like chapter 5, I was so done with it. But this is the first new series I've played in like, I don't know, maybe like 5 years. So I really wanted to share what I thought because this has been a super different experience for me. So I was planning to only do like 10 hours. And before I filmed this video, I actually ended up putting in like 16 because I've kind of gotten like sucked in. So just so you know where I am, so you don't spoil anything, because that would make me a little upset. I just started Madarame's Palace and I got into Mementos a few days ago. So I'm not super far in, but that's where I'm at. So if you want to talk about anything prior to that, that's totally cool. Anything after, just like don't. But yeah, so I decided when I was on my flight back to campus after Christmas that I wanted to make a video where I could just ramble about this. So I sat on my couch here, I wrote up a short little script, and I decided I could just ramble about how much I love it so far. Okay, so you're probably wondering, like, what were my overall first impressions of it? To be so straight with you, I did not like it when I first started it. I was not really feeling it. It was pretty different to like other stuff I had played, and I mean, I was determined I was going to keep going through it anyway because I knew the story would be worth it. But the battle gameplay and the social sim gameplay was just not really getting me at first. I mean, once I unlocked On, it definitely picked up a lot, but the first few hours were definitely a bit of a trudge. So if you're planning on playing this game and you haven't already played it yet, just buyer beware. It does definitely have a bit of a slow start. Also, oh my god, literally everybody in this game is so freaking mean. So you play as a juvenile delinquent, I guess, even though the fact that he got convicted is like crazy to me. It was like self-defense, but you know what, whatever. And everybody is just so mean. Like, my god, you think like regular high school is bad? Everybody in this game, whenever you walk by, is like, oh my god, is that him? He's probably gonna like hit somebody. Oh my god, like just stay away from him. His life is already over. Like, good god. These people are mean. Like, even worse, I think, is the teachers. The teachers are all like, hey, I know you're already going to be a failure, but we kind of have to just deal with you anyway. So, like, we're already expecting you to fail. Just so you know that. I hope we're clear. We do think you're going to fail. It's just, like, it's so funny to me. Like, people have zero faith in this kid. Like, you kind of feel bad for him, man. But, okay, anyway, so I'll just, like, move on to the story. So, obviously, spoilers ahead. So, this is going to be, like, spoilers for the first, like, 15 hours or so of gameplay. So, I really liked the opening act with Kamoshida, even though I felt like it was kind of predictable, where you could kind of guess where it was going to go once you kind of like got into it, and you had like the very first cutscene where you met Reiji and On. Like, I felt like you could kind of guess where it was going to go with him, but I still thought it was like just super good, and it really, really pulled me in. Like, for me, even though I feel like I could kind of guess where it was going, I really wanted to know how it resolved, because, with the whole stuff with the prosecutor, you kind of don't know like what's going to happen, and I wasn't sure if he was going to like have a mental shutdown and like die or something. So I was like super interested to get through the palace and see how it resolved. And it just, once you start getting into it, it like really drives you in. Like, before I filmed this, I was like, do I want to like push filming this to like later today so I can play an hour Persona first? I'm like, girl, you're supposed to be filming a video about how much you liked it and got sucked into it, not like procrastinate because you still are sucked into it. So yeah, once you get rolling with the story, it gets really, really good. And like, back to Kamoshida, I mean, I know this might sound weird, but I felt like it was oddly relatable. Obviously not in the sense of some of the stuff he did, but like in terms of like, sometimes stuff goes on at schools or colleges where it's like everybody sometimes knows stuff's going on, but like people are afraid to kind of like say anything about it. Like, it just, sometimes JRPG stories are kind of like, whew, out there, but this one felt a lot more like, it felt very realistic, like something that could definitely happen maybe on like a lesser scale. where like, you know, sometimes there's stuff like people know are going on, but like people just keep quiet out of fear of retaliation, or like, you know, just no one's gonna believe them. So like I get it. I think part of the thing that like I really related to that I liked is, you know, there's been stuff going on at my college with just issues within the dorms where it's like everybody knows this issue's going on, but until recently nobody really spoke out about it, because it's like, you know, you're going up against the university, like what are you gonna do? So, you know, I kind of really liked how it felt relatable, no matter like what your situation is or like stuff that goes on in your school. Like I feel like there's a component of, you know, sometimes you know something's up and people know like, hey, this is kind of like wrong, but sometimes it's hard to like go against it. So I like that. Like I also really like how they do a great job of talking about more mature topics in a really like just good and almost like accurate way for high schoolers. Like it's not like sensationalized and glamorized like Riverdale. Like all the stuff with Shiho, I thought was like just really well done, and they did a great job of conveying how impactful something like that is without, you know, sensationalizing it like I feel like so many teen shows like to do, which is definitely not good, because that is not something that should be sensationalized at all. So I feel like they did a really good job of making it an important plot point without like over dramatizing it. Like they showed like the really real impact something like that had on and how that motivated her to speak out. So I really appreciate it, how they do such a great job at talking about heavy topics without making it feel like over dramatic and tropey, you know? Also, I think the way that they tell the story, at least so far through backstory, is like super cool. Like I was super confused. I'm gonna be so real. I do not remember what happened in the first like hour, because I was just so in over my head. But like now that I kind of understand what's going on, I think it's super cool how they tell like, you know, the story through like backstory. And like I know not everybody likes that, but I think it's cool how he'll do something and then it'll cut to like, you know, the interrogation scene, and they'll be like, okay, so then like tell me what happened next, because like I genuinely have no idea what the point of that is, but I'm like super interested in seeing like how that all ties together. So whatever like, you know, caused him to get arrested for a second time. So I just think that's really cool. Like I haven't seen something like that done before, so I personally really like it. I mean, okay, so I do feel like the story kind of goes through like ups and downs, where sometimes it feels like super compelling and you just like want to play so you can find out what happens, and other times it just like drags. Like there are definitely some times where I'm like just pressing the dialogue, okay, I'm like, please shut up, like let's just get to something interesting. They do talk a lot in this game. They really do. They talk a lot, and sometimes it's super interesting, and other times it just makes you want to like bash your head against the wall, and you're just like, okay, just like shut up so I can actually do something in this game. So far, when it's high, it's high. When it's low, it's not like bad writing, it's just so slow. But you know, I still feel like the overarching plot so far is like really, really good. I'm super excited to see how the next 130 hours or however long this game is goes story-wise, but I will keep you posted on that. Okay, yeah, so let me move on to the battle gameplay. I did not like it at all for a long while. There are a lot of tutorials and stuff that are just like thrown right at you right at the beginning, and it just felt so overwhelming, you know? It was like the reverse Xenoblade, where they just don't give you enough tutorials. This I feel like gives you too many, and I was just so confused. I was like, there's only a couple of options, and yeah, I am so lost. Like, even now, I still don't understand like all of the stuff with switching personas. Like, whatever, I'll just use whatever one's equipped. Like, it's a lot. But, you know, it did get a lot better. Like, again, I feel like once I got more party members, it got a lot better, and it wasn't just, you know, you go. Once I got on and heard gun, it got super good, because I'm the kind of person where, like, I have a small brain when it comes to games. I just, like, I think it's funny when you're just so overpowered, and, like, you know, you can just destroy everybody sometimes in, like, one hit. When she got her gun, and, like, it hits, like, multiple, like, all the enemies, and I could just, like, press it, and it doesn't use up, like, any SP. Like, oh god, I love that. Obviously, it's not as strong now that I've gotten further, but yeah, that made everything so much easier once I got her, and the freaking gun mechanic was unlocked. Like, god bless, that makes it so much easier. So the thing about the battle that really surprised me is I kind of expected this to be like Xenoblade, you know, like how in Xenoblade it's like, you know, you're auto-attacking and then you can do like the special moves and you have to like wait for them to recharge. I thought it was gonna be something more like that. And it turns out this game, if you can even believe it, is like grown-up Pokemon. I mean, come on, it has the turn-based combat, the different like status effects that I swear to God are like the exact same ones as Pokemon. It has, you know, the weak and strong type of mechanics. Like it feels like Pokemon where, you know, different types are weak to different things. And of course the capturing personas with the freaking persona Pokédex. Like when I slowly realized it was like Pokemon, it did get a lot easier because I'm like, oh, I can just employ Pokemon strategies for this. It's just so funny to me because I didn't expect it. Now, I get it. Pokemon isn't like, you know, a unicorn in terms of gameplay, but I was like, oh my God, it's like Pokemon. Good. But like right now, I'm really enjoying the gameplay because I kind of feel like now I've more or less gotten the hang of it. Not fully, but like well enough that I haven't had any issues getting through battles. You know, I haven't like had a game over yet, so that's good. And I just really hope that now that I say that, the next time I play, the combat won't get like infinitely harder for no apparent reason, and I'll start have to like, you know, spending forever on battles. But for now, it's really fun now that I've kind of gotten the hang of it. Not with the help of the tutorials. I kind of just figured it out as I went along because they were not helpful, but it's really fun now. So I did not like it for a long while, and now I really like it. In fact, I wish you got to do more combat stuff, but they keep talking and they won't let me go to mementos because every time I get back, Morgana's like, oops, too late, you're gonna sleep now. No mementos for you. So yeah, I'm having fun with that part now. But that's only one half of the gameplay, because if you play Persona, you know that is only one half of all the fun it has to offer, because the other part is the social sim gameplay, which unfortunately I do not like that much. I know it's like a personal preference. I personally prefer, like, if you're balancing out the two, more battle gameplay over social sim stuff. Persona definitely seems to weigh the social sim stuff more heavily, and you can't just like completely ignore it and do whatever, because it does have a legitimate impact on, like, you know, the battle. And if you're not doing well in battle, I mean, you're not going to progress through the story because you're just going to get your butt handed to you every time. So it's not that I think it's bad per se, it's just there's so much of it. There's so much of it, and it feels like it gets really grating when you can only do 2 things a day. So the first issue I feel like I kind of have is that people just yap so much, like especially in the first couple hours of the game. Like, I get it, you know, exposition. But oh my God, you can't even do anything because all they're doing is yapping, and it just drags. Like, don't get me wrong, the story's good, the voice acting is good, but my God, they almost talk too much. So by the time you get to do social sim stuff, it's just like, no, I'm just so tired of it at this point. Like, just let me fight now. Like, I think the school stuff is fine. I like running around the school, but the towns, I don't know. It was fine for maybe an hour, but now I'm just like so bored of it, you know? It just feels like it feels like there's so much to do, and at the same time, there's like no variety in what you can do. And it's just kind of a drag. But my biggest issue with all this is that for whatever reason, they decided, as I said, you can only do two things a day. Like, there is so much stuff you need to do in like the towns to improve your stats, and they're like, no, 2 things a day. Pick 2. Find your most important. Pick 2 of them. It's so restricting. Like, literally everything takes up your time. Like, not even stuff that builds your stats. Like, doing your freaking laundry takes up your time. So it's like, it's not just like, you know, pick 2 stats to work on per day. No, you want to wash your laundry. Oops, that takes up time. Sometimes, you know, you'll just get back and Morgana's like, I'm tired. I want to go to bed. You're not doing anything today. So it's like, there's so much you need to do. Like, you need to like craft stuff. You need to like, you know, bring up your stats so people actually think you're cool enough to hang around you. You gotta like, you know, wash your laundry. Sometimes you gotta like, you know, go to the burger contest, like watch a movie, like read books, like whatever. And then she'll just be like, no, I'm tired. You're going to bed now. So sometimes you really only get to do 1 thing a day. Like, I'm not asking for like unlimited activity points a day, but 2. Come on, you need like at least 4. That's just a bit ridiculous. Like, can you imagine if 3 houses was like, you know, oh, you wanted to like have meals with your students? No, pick 2 things. Pick your 2 favorite students. That's who you can level up your points with. You want to fish? Okay, fine. You get 2 fish. 2 fish. You can catch 2 fish all day. Have fun. I mean, like, good grief. I can accomplish more in a day than Joker can, because I don't spend 5 hours doing my laundry or studying 1 single subject every freaking day. Like, don't get me wrong. I appreciate the break from battle. Like, you know, too much of any one type of gameplay starts getting a bit repetitive and dragging. But there's just like too much social stuff, and maybe the towns will open up more as I progress. Like, I'm only like 15 hours in, so it totally might, but yeah, right now I'm just not loving it. So let me move on to something that, like, I'm sure some of you probably don't care much about, but I do, which is the voice acting in this game. Like, legitimately. I know, again, like, it's a first impressions video. Why am I talking about this? Because they are so freaking good. Like, they are so good in this game. Like, and I really gotta commend, so far, like, the ones I noticed the most are, and I'm gonna butcher his name, Ryuji and Morgana. They sound so good, like better than they do in like other games I played that they're in, but you know, freaking Cassandra Lee Morris is everywhere. But they sound so natural. Like, they genuinely sound so good. Like, you know how I say the social stuff drags? Those two make it not drag. They are just so good, and they have such great chemistry. And I talked about, you know, I like Three Houses voice acting because they were good, but these two are like even better than that. Like, when you can make the most basic of sentences sound really good and add a lot of vocal variety to it, like, oh, so good. They are so freaking amazing. But here is one like silly little issue thing I've kind of had. So y'all know I play Three Houses, right? I love that game. Well, a lot of the cast of Three Houses is in this game in some variety or another, either as main characters or NPC voices, and it kind of throws me for a loop a little bit. Like, Morgana especially is kind of brutal because she uses the exact same voice and is like pretty much the exact same role she was in Three Houses, where, you know, she's the one kind of like talking in your head, guiding you along, and she almost has like borderline the same personality. Like, she's always tired. Like, I guess that's just like her thing. She's just always tired, and it's really hard to remind myself sometimes that this is a different game, and like, you know, she's just like a random cat thing this time and not some revered goddess. It just like super throws me for a loop because she'll say the most like off-kilter things. I'm like, Sylveon, why are you saying that? And I'm like, oh yeah, you're a vulgar cat now. My bad. It just throws me for a loop. It's funny, but sometimes it messes me up a little bit. But like the worst ones are the NPC voices in the hallway of the school. They have at least Caspar, Hilda, and Lysithea, who you'll just like run through the school and you'll hear them like shouting. And the funny thing is, it's like so in character to their characters in Three Houses, and you're in a school environment, and it just throws me off every single time. Like, Hilda is by far the worst offender because she literally, you could tell me her voice lines were all from like her role as Hilda, because you'll just be running through the school and you'll hear her go, I'm so tired, and it's like, Hilda, what are you doing in friggin' Tokyo? Anyway, love the voice actors. They all sound amazing, but definitely it was something I noticed right away, just how incredible they sound. And I really think those two deserve to be in like some huge animated movie because they sound freaking incredible. So yeah, that's just my little shout out to those two. They sound amazing, and it's like a huge highlight of the game for me. Oh yeah, and since you know I like to talk about music, you're probably wondering, wow, Persona has like the best music ever. What does she think of it? Would you hate me if I say I don't like it all that much? But which is kind of funny because like I used to listen to the tracks in Ultimate a lot. But just something about them being in game, it just got really repetitive for me. I think my personal preferences for like background music in games is just like full orchestra pieces. Just, I don't know why, like listening to the Persona pieces on their own, they sound good, but I guess just something about them looping, I don't know, it just kind of gets grating and gets on my nerves, which sucks because like if I listen to the music outside of the game, it sounds great. I listen to it in the game, god, if I hear Beneath the Mask one more freaking time, I'm going to scream. Like, shut up. But I never had this issue in other games with like area themes, so I think it's just something about the instrumentation. It sounds good. I guess it's just not my cup of tea for something you're gonna listen to for like 8 hours. That's just my little rant on the music. It's not bad music. Like, honestly, I think it's pretty great music. But do I like listening to it on loop? No, and I'm sorry. And just other stuff I kind of appreciate about this game. I love the sense of humor they have in this game. Like, this is a funny game, and I wasn't really expecting it to be. Like, this is the first game that I played where I actually like laughed out loud while I was playing it, because some of the lines from Ryuji and Morgana are just like legitimately hilarious. And, you know, there's sometimes where I'll snicker a little bit while playing a game, but like this game is actually funny. Like most games on the Switch, which is my console, you know, they just don't have like a sense of humor like this. And so I really appreciate that. I like to laugh, like, you know, comedy is like one of my favorite things. So this game is just like perfect for me. I love the sense of humor they have. Like all the jokes are just so well done, and they have like great like physical comedy too with the models. Like just the other day I was playing and like there was an optional like hit Morgana's head. I don't remember why. I think some kid wanted to see you hit her head, so you just hit her head. It was just really funny. Maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I have like a dumb sense of humor. I mean, I probably do, but you know what? I thought that was hilarious, and that's what matters. Also, oh my god, the theaters in this game having ripoffs of real movies is like actual gold. Like I live for that stuff. But yeah, no, like all the details in the game are just so immaculate. Like you can tell how much like love and time was put into this game, and you know, I just really appreciate it. Like I said, I think it's funny. Maybe other people are just like, oh yeah, haha, it's amusing. No, I think it's hilarious. Like this is a funny game. I like it. I like it. It actually makes me laugh, which, you know, college, busy, long, sometimes they need to laugh. So maybe that's why I love this game as much as I do. So yeah, just to kind of like wrap the whole thing up, I'm having a lot of fun with this game so far, which, I mean, you can tell because I wanted to talk about how much I liked it. I wasn't really sure when I started it, you know, and not to say the cutscenes are bad, but like the beginning, I was just like, I'm not sure if this is my cup of tea. The more I got into it, the more I love it. And obviously, you know, I'm not going to rank it amongst like, you know, other games I played for like where I'd put it in like a top 5 or a top 10, because I'm not going to do that till I finish it. For all I know, it could crash and burn and be awful, a la Xenoblade 3. Or it could be amazing, and this could end up being my favorite game of all time. Probably not. It's going to be really hard for it to beat Three Houses, but, you know, it's definitely getting up there. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It's really hard because I'm back to school now, and I keep having to remind myself I have stuff I need to do. You know, I have homework, I have like clubs, I have to, you know, draw and make videos. And I don't know if you saw, but the last video I made, I did in 24 hours. You know why? I'll show you why. I kept playing this, and I shouldn't have, because I did not want to film a video, and I was like, I'll just play Persona, and I'll get to it eventually. So that's how you can tell it's good. When I'm procrastinating all the stuff I know I should be doing, and I'm usually really good about doing, because I just want to be curled up in a blanket playing this instead. I really want to try to finish it before I get Xenoblade X Definitive Edition for my birthday, but I also don't want to rush it. I milk games for all they're worth. Like, I usually don't replay, so I'll try to complete everything before I wrap it up. So hopefully I'll get it finished over the next few months, but you know, it's a freaking long game. Like, you need minimum 120, 140 hours, and I don't even know if I have 120 or 140 hours to spare for, like, you know, drawing sometimes, so we'll see. But yeah, wasn't sure about it, but it's gotten more fun further I've gone. It's gotten kind of addicting, so I would say Persona 5 is probably a good game. It's a good game, you know, recommend. Haven't finished it, but, you know, I still recommend. I think it might be a good game. But yeah, I always would love to talk about it in the comments with all of you. But I'm being so serious when I say if any of y'all spoil this for me, you are getting blocked. I'm not screwing around. Like, do you know how rare it is to go into a game, like, being so unspoiled? Like, literally, I had no idea what this game was going to be about when I picked it up. Like, literally had no idea what the plot was going to be, and it is so nice to be able to go through things unspoiled. So, if you spoil anything for me, I will block you. So don't do that, please. I don't want to do that. I don't think you want to do that. So just, like, be careful that you're not talking about anything, like, after Kamoshida, please. I would really appreciate that, please. Anyway, I will give you an update when I'm maybe, like, 60 hours through, because I assume that'll kind of be, like, the halfway point. And we'll see how I'm feeling about it then. Hopefully by then I'll have unlocked all the other party members. But honestly, I kind of just love, like, the group of 4 we have now. But again, we will see. So, yeah. Happy New Year, everybody, of course. Meant to film this earlier, and I was going to say Happy New Year, like, a lot closer to New Year's. But happy 2025. Yeah, I'll talk about more after the little end card. So yeah, thank you guys for watching. Fingers crossed for another 4.0 semester, because yes, I did it. Don't know if you saw in the last video, I did get a 4.0 last semester, but I'll rant about that later. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see ya. Go play it. Go play it, it's really good. Alright, hi guys, thank you for sticking around. Welcome to the video after the video presented by nothing because nobody's sponsored me yet. Okay, so, hi, it's been a while. Like I said, I got a 4.0. I was genuinely in shock because I studied for like 6 hours a day for my neuroscience exam because I needed an A on that in order to get like an A overall, and I just took it. I was like, okay, well, what happens. I get home and it turned out to be an A, and I was like, don't be coming down. It was awesome, so yay me. And now my GPA is up to a less bad GPA. It's up to a 3.82, maybe? 3.82, 3.83. It's not as bad anymore, so good job me. And yeah, so, yeah, it's been a hot minute. The last time I sat here filming was over a month ago, which is crazy to me. I feel kind of lazy for that one. And yeah, so lots of stuff went on in the last month, obviously. It was Christmas, and then it was also Disney, so let me fill you up on that real quick. So yeah, I went to Disney. Oh yeah, you can see. There we go. I got these ears from the Grand Floridian. Maybe I can put up pictures of it. I don't know. Well, I'll see if I can put up pictures right now while I'm talking. So I went to Disney. Obviously not my first time, but this was my first time going down over Christmas. It was pretty nice. It was definitely a little weird for me to be down at this time of year. You know, I'm not used to it, but it was really nice. I'm trying to think if there was anything I wanted to mention, but I think by this point I've low-key forgot. Yeah, it wasn't super busy. It was a little chillier than I hoped towards the end of the trip, but I really enjoyed it. The only thing that I did not like was we stayed, can't tell by the ears, we stayed at the Grand Floridian, which was amazing. I love that resort. And here's just a PSA for anybody who's planning on going down. They have a gingerbread house in the Grand Floridian, and every single day it would be mobbed in the lobby as like everybody and their mother came over to get a photo of this gingerbread house. And like, let me show it to you. It's not all that. Like, it's cool, but is it like, you know, pay parking to park in the Magic Kingdom so you can come over here? Well, no. And people would park in the hotel parking lot, and then the worst thing is people would come over from the TTC in the Magic Kingdom via monorail to check it out, and then of course they have to leave back on the monorail, so we'd be trying to go somewhere and there would be this massive line for the monorail. Like, it was at the point where like it felt like it would be shorter to walk over to the Polynesian and just use the monorail line. Like, again, it's probably not like a big deal to most people, but if you're doing like a once-in-a-lifetime trip and you're coughing up the money to stay there because you know it's on the monorail line, just don't do it in December because you will not get to use the monorail. I'm just putting that out there as a PSA. But it was really nice. I love all the decorations they have. I think Animal Kingdom wins for having the best decorations, though. They were just so nice. What else happened? I went on Expedition Everest 4 times in a day. That was not a good idea. The G-forces are a little strong on that one. Almost yacked, but I did. And yeah, went on Guardians of the Galaxy 3 times. That's like my favorite ride ever. I love that ride. We actually got row 9, which is like the best row because it's like the back row when the cars turn. And we got September as the song, which I love September. So. Yeah. Oh, I did get to see the brand new Polynesian DVC Tower. We were there right when it opened, so we walked over on opening day because they finally opened the walkway, and it's been like years since that was open. And you know, I don't like it. The lobby's nice, but from the outside, it looks not so good. But that's just me. It was a good trip though. Our flights were on time. That was good. Oh God, there was a kid in front of us on the flight home who, I mean, when I say in front of us, I mean we were in like main cabin extra. This child was in first class with his mother, so like there was a bathroom and like several rows between us. But oh my God, this kid was hacking up a storm, and like I was sitting like, you know, several rows back, and even through like, you know, the curtain covering the first class cabin, I could hear this kid coughing through like my noise canceling AirPods. Like, no shade to the kid, but oh my God, disgusting. Was not wearing a mask. The mother was coughing. She didn't care either. It's like, wear a mask if you're coughing. I've gotten sick on planes too many times. Please, 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 if you are sick, wear a mask on a plane because germs spread, and that was disgusting. But yeah, so you guys are not going to believe this, but all of my flights were on time. I was on 4 flights since I last talked to you, and I know it's insane. American Airlines is like the worst, but they were on time every time, which is good because the other flight got canceled. That was after mine, so glad I didn't take that. Usually I take a later flight, but I took a slightly earlier one, and that was a good move. It got canceled. Sorry for everybody who didn't get back to campus because their flight got canceled. Sorry for y'all. But yeah, oh yeah, and Christmas. Christmas was good. It was nice to be home and relaxing. I did want to show you this. This is like my favorite thing. I'm an adult and I still love stuff. This is for my dorm room. It sits right here. I love it, and I didn't grab it, but even better is that over there I have like a little ornament, and it's just like a smaller version of this. I love it. I literally love it. Like, you guys have no idea how happy this made me. Yeah, so my goals for this year, video wise, just like, I don't know, hit 10,000 subs. That would be really cool. And maybe somebody can sponsor me. I've had some people reach out to me about sponsorship stuff, but it's usually like, you know, you get a free product. And if it was something I was legitimately interested in, I would take it. But outside of that, like, I'm just not going to do it because I don't want to get stuff I'm not going to use. I did have one company who I think some of you probably heard of. They did reach out to me about a paid sponsorship, but it was not a company who I'd say I align with ethically, which just, I'm not gonna like say that for everything. Like, I don't like, you know, go search up these companies. I have like a long list of demands, but this was one company where like I refused to even buy from them because I just do not support their, just a lot of their stuff. So, yeah. But so those are my goals. Sponsorship would be nice, you know, all about that cash. Education's expensive, and I gotta start saving up for grad school. And yeah, so I've talked your ear off for a while. I'm sorry, I don't know how much of this I'll cut out. I'm just rambling. But yeah, so if you stuck around this long, you can let me know if there's anything you'd really like to see this coming year. I might start selling the stickers or something, you know, just to dip my toe into the merchandise business. Why is there somebody above me shoving around a chair? It sounds like a trombone. I don't know if you can hear it. It sounds like a trombone, like a dying trombone. I hate the guys who live above me. Okay, yeah, so you want to see anything this year? You let me know in the comments. Yeah, thank y'all for watching. Here, I'll show you one more time. Look at this thing. It's adorable. I love it. Okay, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you. Stay warm if you're in the north or in Texas, because apparently it was snowing there the other day. I'll see you. Bye-bye.